now, most people will have heard about mindfulness. Whilst its origins dates way back over 2,500 years ago to Eastern Buddhist traditions, it's become increasingly popular, especially over the last 40 years in our contemporary life, because it can help us to think well, and if we think well, this will obviously have a direct impact on our well-being and on our quality of life. For most of us, for most of the time, life is a joyful experience, but also for most of us, some of the time, it can be full of difficulties and challenges, with different things, different issues affecting different people at different times in their lives. And as human beings, it's natural that we ruminate about past events and catastrophize about the insecurities of the future. And sadly, we're doing this more now than ever given the COVID pandemic. The good news is that through mindfulness we can learn skills that can support us to live mindfully, in the sense that we can live in the present moment, in the here and now, with awareness. And we can learn to pay attention to our thoughts, and as a result, we can manage life better. Many people, and I understand this, find or are anxious about their ability to meditate or to quiet their mind, because on average we think around 60,000 thoughts a day. Our minds wander all over the place. It's what minds do. The important thing to remember though is the kind of thoughts that we have and the quality of thoughts, the quality of our thoughts, and obviously these are going to differ from person to person depending what's going on at any given time, depending on life circumstances and social situations. So if you think about it then, our minds can either be our best friends or our worst enemy. One of the most powerful things about mindfulness for me is that we actually have a choice how we respond to our thoughts and how we react to the constant internal dialogue that's going on in our minds. There's plenty of scientific evidence available to back up how effective this is and how beneficial and advantageous it is in kind of supporting us to remain well. But for me, the real deal is actually learning about something through doing it, or learning about something through experiencing it, as opposed to just reading about it. And I first became interested in using mindfulness in my everyday life following a breast cancer diagnosis. So I've personally witnessed the positive effects of mindfulness on my well-being. So to conclude then, being anxious because of stressful events or experiencing stress is an unavoidable consequence of being alive. But through mindfulness, we don't have to turn away and push those troublesome thoughts down, but actually we can befriend them. And when we start doing that, I'm not saying that it's easy, but we will start having a different relationship with ourselves at a more deep emotional level. And we'll see and we'll experience that we are thinking better, we've got more clarity, we've got more focus, we're more aware of our needs. And the best thing is that we'll become kinder and we'll become more compassionate human beings, first of all, towards ourselves, and obviously as a consequence this will help in our relationships with other people. So that's just like a brief insight into the kind of stuff that my mindfulness practice is all about. So obviously if you want to know more, then you've had some information on the website, and just get in touch with me. Just gweud bod meddwlgarwch wedi dod yn rhywbeth lot mwy poblogaidd heddi a yn yn bywydau prysur ni. Ac os odych am fwy o wybodaeth am y meddwlgarwch yn fy marfer i, cysylltwch â fi unrhyw amser, a byddai'n falch i siarad gyda chi. Diolch yn fawr.